So in this room, Cosmo's already losing it.
Yeah, he is.
In this room know nothing about X-Men. I think I literally know Rogue is involved, but is she part of, I won't even ask. You'll tell me the lore. I don't even know if she's even like part of the group or if she's like a side. I also know of what's her name? It's not Jessica Frost, but it's something Frost. Emma, thank you. Oh my gosh. Okay, Emma Frost.
Yep.
Oh, thank you for saving me, Cosmo. So that's literally, and I know Gambit. I call him Gambit.
Okay, that was intentional. Just making sure.
It was intentional. But it's stuck in my brain as Gambit now, so sometimes it'll come out as that. But like, that's all the knowledge I have. So since it's your Delulu, and I'm kind of like the odd one out in the canoe here, I'm wondering, because I don't know if my audience is big on X-Men, or like they might have as much knowledge as me. How would you describe X-Men to like an alien that just got plunked on this planet and was like, what's X-Men?
Okay.
What would you say in a generalized spiel?
Sure. So, in the 60s, every single comic book hero needed a different origin. And some people were given drugs, like Captain America. Some people were bit by spiders, like Spider-Man. Some people were just really close to atomic bombs, like the Hulk. Stan Lee, who is the creator, decided we need something that is a little bit easier as the origin. And it was, you're born this way.
Oh.
No. And they don't really start to see signs of it until they hit puberty. And that's when people develop these powers where their body is changing in a very dramatic fashion at also the time where hormones are going crazy within their body.
Okay, I love it. Yep. I love that.
Yep.
It was the next stage of human evolution.
Oh. Yeah. Yep. Ooh, okay.
So there's this one guy, Professor X, Charles Xavier, because names were not the strongest suit from the 60s, who decides to create a school for what he calls gifted youngsters. And it is the first group of mutants ever put together as a team, and that is the original 5 X-Men.
Oh, okay. So I had no idea that there was like a school lore with it. So they start off as like in the animated television show, do you see them as like teens, or are they primarily adults?
So when X-Men, we'll call it 92 is the one from the 90s, 97 is its continuation.
Oh, okay.
In 92, almost everybody is an adult at that point, but they introduced the character Jubilee, who had been around in the comics for a little bit of time, but was not all the way back to the 60s, as the eyes of the viewer. And Jubilee is the only one who's actually a teenager. So she's the only one going to this institute where it's all these other people who've grown up, learned to control their powers, and she can't because she's emotional and she can't handle everything that's going on, and these giant robots are trying to kill her and things like that.
Also, she's a child from the 90s, so she's a mall rat too.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
One of the favorite quotes from her is something to the extent of does a mall baby love chili fries?
Does a mall baby love chili fries?
Okay, I love that.
Yep.
Wow.
I can recite that whole damn show from like top to bottom.
I know, you're like a super fan of it. You
both
are.
But just like JC, like I was just Spider-Man was my first love.
Really? You were exactly the same.
You didn't fall in love with Hawkeye though. That's where we diverted.
Yeah.
I never loved the Avengers.
Fair.
Oh, okay.
I saw the Avengers like a cheap version of DC in the Justice League. So there's this Boy Scout, there's a broody one, there's a millionaire one, and there's like a god, and it's just the same thing. Wonder Woman for Thor, Batman for friggin' Iron Man, Captain America for Superman.
I mean, literally, it was a 2 billionaires scenario. Yeah.
But Spider-Man, because I lost my grandmother, she was close to me, and I heard the story about Uncle Ben. And I'm like, oh my God, with these great powers, responsibilities, he's in school, he was awkward, all this stuff like that. He was a nerd. And I was a closet nerd because, like, my friends back then in the 90s, like, they wouldn't understand the toys, the action figures, and the comic books that I would have.
Yeah.
And that was great until, like, in middle school and then high school. Like, I graduated in 99, so it was, like, around that time, X-Men was already popular. It was the X-Men Gold, Uncanny X-Men, and the X-Men Gold Team, Blue Team. And this was, like, about mutants being different, like diversity, being outcasts. And that's already happened through the world with like being gay, being black, being different, being like, all that segregation.
Being a minority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like, I related to a lot of those characters, and one of the characters I fell in love with was Gambit, because I have family from New Orleans, and, like, I knew people like him, and just, like, the accent. And then a Southern Belle was Rogue. I didn't care much for Cyclops until a couple issues. What are you laughing?
Well, I have to laugh because the name of our podcast is Cyclops is Waiting for Me.
Yeah.
Which is a quote from the show.
Okay.
And the part that I know Cosmo appreciates, it's a joke about Cyclops. It's not a Cyclops, we're his biggest fan.
Yeah.
So the most memed moment of that series is the sad Wolverine holding the photo.
Yes. Okay,
So
I've
you've
seen
seen
this.
that, right?
Yes.
Right after that, because Wolverine is pining over Jean Grey. That is like the woman he loves who is with Cyclops. Like they are a thing. They are like on the way to get married type thing. Everything like that.
There's tea.
She goes to check on Wolverine, who's recovering from an injury, and they have like this awkward like hand touch moment. And she's like, "Oh, I should go. Cyclops is waiting for me." And then Logan goes, "So am I." And it's the most pathetic thing ever.
So am I, Gene.
It's
so
fantastic.
In the comic books, Scott was part of 3 love triangles. It was Emma Frost and Psylocke. Psylocke was trying to get into that. And then you had Jean Grey in that. So it was like, it was crazy.
And don't forget, at one time, he was with Jean Grey's clone.
Yes.
Too.
Yes.
Wow.
Had a baby with the clone.
Baby.
Oh my gosh.
They have a total of 3 kids, right? Or 4?
Currently there's only...
There's Rachel.
From an alternate reality.
Yes. Rachel.
Nathan, who was Cable.
Cable. And then was Nathan...
Nate? But Nate's also another reality.
Yes, because it was X-Men.
Oh my
Yeah, that's Nate.
That's Nate. Okay.
Yep,
So
that's from the Age of Apocalypse. See, this is where
stopped.
him and I can go for hours.
Yeah.
That's why we have a timer for how long we're recording, so him and I don't do that.
We're at 16 minutes right now. So
Delulu Canoe derails and becomes an X-Men podcast.
It's fine.